Well, hello there. I'm Sybil Marie Presley, and I'm visiting my sister and my family in San Jose, California. So this morning I'm going to show her how I make homemade buttermilk biscuits. It's been over 20 years since I made this, so I think I remember. So me and my sister may have a bake-off. I'm going to do my set of biscuits first, and then we'll come back later, let her do it her way, and then we'll see which biscuit comes out the best. So here we go, and the first thing you have to do is get self-rising flour. That's S-E-L-F, not all-purpose flour. It's got to be self-rising. And Brenda insisted on me starting with 2.5 cups of flour. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my flour.
Oh, pardon me. This is Brenda's flour. I thought she had dished it out for me. Oh, well, let me put her flour down then. So I'll just proceed to just dump the flour in. And I'll start with this much flour and see what happens. I don't measure anything. And then you take your fist, you punch it in there and make a volcano hole. See? And the next step is to open a Crisco lard. Yeah, they still make lard nowadays. This is a tablespoon, and I don't know, I just kind of get some and flop it in there. If it's not enough, I'll get more. I think I'll do a little bit more. There we go. In the bowl it goes. So I'll lay my spoon down here. And then we start with the buttermilk. Shake it up a little bit till it's all shook up. Pour some in. And kind of fill up the hole. And here goes the hands. You know, I just make me a little puddle. Then you keep adding. So I'll go in here and I start squishing. And then it depends on the amount of biscuits that you want, that you keep adding the milk. So I got just a little pile there, so that's not going to be enough biscuits. So I just stand here and pour milk till I get tired of pouring it. Okay. Now I think I got enough at least for us to have some biscuits. Then you keep peeling from the side, you know, adding some more flour, and just keep on going to, you know, the biscuit's about like that, so, or a little bit smaller, so I can go again. So I might stop while I'm ahead and make a few biscuits. And the buttermilk's cold. So you can always leave it out a few minutes. And I've preheated the oven to about 375. Now here's the messy part. You gotta get it off your fingers. You know, clean your hands. I don't know how else to do this. And then you start folding the thing around. I think you call it kneading. And I just pat and fold and pat and fold. I use both hands. Is that nice little fold going on there? And then I just do this a few times. Well, what I forgot to do is oil the pan. And you know, there's always something. So I may get a volunteer to pour a little oil on. Do I have a volunteer in the audience?
Sure, I can help you out.
This is my handsome
What do you need? Oil?
brother-in-law, Greg, and he's a great golfer.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, but just pour a little bit on
This oil?
That's fine.
Oh, on here?
Yeah, you know, don't drown it. Just pour a little oil and so I can go around and around with it. You know, oil the pan. Just a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to oil it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
A great assistant. right here in San Jose, California, the best vacation of my life. So now I'm just gonna put the, dust your hand, and then just pinch off some biscuit dough and just roll it around. See, there's the biscuit. And I put it on the pan. That's a nice little round biscuit. You can make them any shape you want to. Make them heart-shaped, or use a cookie cutter if you want to. But I like the old-fashioned rolling around the hands. You know, it brings back memories of yesterday growing up. Seeing my mother in the kitchen making biscuits. So I sure got a big pan for a few biscuits. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I don't know how I did it, but I made 6 biscuits. Alright, that's it. And then I'm going to wash my hands and stick my beautiful homemade buttermilk biscuits in the oven. And I'll see you when we take them out of the oven. Well, I got my biscuits in the oven. And me and my sister Brenda has a biscuit bake-off. So now we're going to watch her do her recipe. And then she'll put her biscuits in the oven. And we'll have a taste test. So here comes Brenda.
Hi, this is Brenda. My sister Sybil and I are having a bake-off. She bakes from scratch, and I bake from recipes, so we're going to see what happens. So we're using a recipe on the back of the gold medal flour. Make sure it's self-rising. And all we need is buttermilk, flour. I've already added 2 teaspoons of sugar and 2.5 cups of flour in this bowl, and we're going to need some shortening. So I'm going to just dump this into a bigger bowl. And I'm just going to stir this around a little bit, just to make sure that I got all mixed up with the sugar. Just a little bit of sugar. And now it says I need 1/2 cup of shortening. So we'll take this, and we'll just fill this up. And to me, close is good, so I don't worry about it being exact, but that's pretty close. So we're going to scoop this out. Okay, so now it says to use a pastry blender. I don't have one, or a fork, so we're going to use a fork, and we're going to cut in until the mixture is crumbly. So I'm just going to just keep doing this. So we want to keep doing this, it says, until it gets crumbly. So it's starting to get crumbly, but I'm just going to kind of keep doing this. I think the idea is just to kind of evenly cut the Crisco through the flour as much as possible. So I'm going to call that good. Okay, so it says start with 3/4 cup of buttermilk. We might go up to 1 cup. So let me grab, I'm just going to use my 1/2 cup, and then I'll do another 1/2 for 3/4. So the buttermilk is already open, but I'm going to give it a little shake. And we'll start with, ooh, it's kind of gross. Okay, 1/2 cup, and then I'm going to do another 1/2 of this. So that'll get us up to 3/4. My sister, like I said, used her hands, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to stir this in. And it said to do this until the dough leaves the side of the bowl. So we're going to have to add, I can see we're going to have to add a little more buttermilk here. Okay, it looks like it's starting to leave the sides of the bowl. So I might add just a teensy bit more. Just a little bit. What do you think, Sybil?
Oh, it's looking good.
I know, she doesn't like this because it doesn't look as good as hers.
It's not like mine, but we shall see.
Oh, it says, on a lightly floured surface, knead the dough just until smooth. And then we're going to roll it, and we're going to cut it. Okay, so we'll start with this. Get a little bit of flour out here. Okay, so there we go. So we're just going to get this lightly floured. Okay, so now it wants me to knead it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about this. I think it might need a little more buttermilk, but we'll see. I'm not going to scoop it all out either. Well, she's just dying laughing at me right now.
You can make cookies.
Just hang on. They actually might turn out. Well, I don't know. I think I need more buttermilk. Well, these might be some pretty dry biscuits, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so knead it out. I'm actually, instead of cutting these out, I am going to roll them like my sister did. And I'm just going to grab it up. It does feel a little crumbly though, so I'm kind of worried. But my sister did something like this, so we're going to kind of see.
Just like you're rolling up clay.
And then we're just going to give it a little pat.
Yeah, a little love pat.
These might be some sad little biscuits.
I don't know, they might surprise you.
Alright, so we'll put them in the pan.
That's a nice, your biscuit shape is better than mine.
Yeah.
That's a nice
Well,
biscuit
I'd
shape.
rather have it taste better than look better, so we'll see what happens. I might be conceding this bake-off before it even starts. Yeah, it's definitely crumbly. I think it needs more buttermilk. Is this bad that I'm going to put it back in the bowl?
Oh no, just add a little, no.
Okay.
It's your
I
biscuit.
got two,
Right.
so we'll just
Yeah,
see.
just add a little
I
more
just feel like
buttermilk.
it needs more buttermilk.
And I got, probably in a few minutes I'll look at my biscuits.
And I am going to go to my hands now. How about that, after I said I wasn't going to do
Well,
it?
all right.
Okay. So now, I'm just going to take out a smaller amount just so it's kind of manageable. Okay. Alright, so now we'll just kind of pinch that off. Oh, gotta clean out my fingers here. If nothing else, I'm sure my dogs will eat these biscuits.
Well, I don't know. I made some salmon patties one time. They were so bad the cat wouldn't eat them.
So we'll see. But these kind of hold together a little better. The only
Oh,
thing I'm worried
yes.
about is I may have over mixed it. Okay.
Looking good.
We're also going to be making bacon, so if nothing else, the bacon's going to taste good.
Oh, and scrambled eggs with it too.
And some grits.
Oh, wow.
Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush some melted butter on top.
Well, that's a good idea.
So we'll see if that might just save them. Okay, so I just took some butter and melted it in the microwave, and I'm just going to brush a little bit of butter on the biscuits. Maybe, I'm kind of hoping that the butter is going to save these biscuits, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we'll put these in the oven. It says 450 for 10 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. So we will check back when they come out of the oven.
Well, this is my masterpiece of my homemade buttermilk biscuits done the old-fashioned way and from scratch. I just got them out of the oven, and I put my oven at 350 degrees. As you can see, mine's nice and golden brown, so we shall see when Brenda's comes out.
Okay, so I took my biscuits out of the oven, and here they are. These are my sister's biscuits, which I think look a little more fluffy and golden brown. But when my husband gets home, we'll have him taste test them, and we'll let you know what he thinks. Thanks.
Well, here I am with my brother-in-law, Greg, that's Brenda's husband. And he's going to close his eyes, and we have the biscuit, bake-off test here. And he's going to pick out the one he likes. So you can eat...
Okay, I've got my eyes closed.
Okay, you can pick that biscuit first and just chomp on that. It's small, so you can eat the whole thing. It's just
I'm not going to eat the whole thing.
Well, that's one bite. And here is the second bite. And you can just, do your thing there. We need a drum roll. Do we have the results?
Pretty close. I might have to say the second one. And
That's mine.
and that's it.
And that is-
And whose was that?
That was mine.
I mean, it was very close, but the second one I think had like a little more flavor, like as you continue to like chew on it. So
Yeah, well,
that would be
wonderful.
mine. But they were both very good.
Well, that is great. This is our taste test, and you can pick out from the YouTube video which way you want to do it. So, this was great. Biscuit, back off.